Okay, good morning, students.
Good morning, ma'am.
All of you, please switch on your videos. Let us start the class with a silent prayer. Okay, thank you. So, what we were discussing in the last class, Steffi, what we were discussing in the last class?
Ma'am, I was not there in the previous two classes.
Okay, then Srihari,
Coulomb's law.
yes,
Coulomb's law.
Coulomb's law. Then can you state the Coulomb's law? What do you mean by Coulomb's law?
Force of attraction and repulsion between two charges is directly proportional to the product of their magnitude of charges.
Yes, the force of attraction or repulsion between the two charges is directly proportional to product of the charges. Then
Force of attraction or repulsion between charges is inversely proportional to square of distance between them.
square of the distance between them. Okay. Then Gauri, what is the equation which represents the Ohm's law?
Ma'am, Ohm's law.
Sorry, Coulomb's law, Coulomb's law. I test whether
9
you are listen
into,
here. Yeah.
9 into 10 raised to 9 Q1 Q2 by R square.
Yes, 9 into 10 raised to 9 Q1 Q2 by R square. So when we are asking the equation, you can say the first one, that is F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 by R square. That is actually the equation form of the Coulomb's law. All right. Then thank you, Gauri. Then Krishna, state Ohm's law. Sorry, state Coulomb's law. I don't know, the Ohm's law is came in my mind. State Coulomb's law.
Force of attraction or repulsion between the two charges is directly proportional to the product of magnitude of the charge, and it is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them.
Yes, it is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. So is there any doubt with this Coulomb's law? Have you any doubt? Okay. So let us move to the next topic. So in the last class we will discuss about the Coulomb's law. Coulomb's law is the force of attraction or repulsion between the charges. It is the force of attraction or repulsion between the charges is directly proportional to the product of the magnitude of charges, and it is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. So this is the Coulomb's law. So discuss the next topic. The equation which representing the Coulomb's law, F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 by R square. So this is what is Coulomb's law state. Coulomb's law stated that the force of attraction or repulsion between the two charges is directly proportional to the product of the charges, and it is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Right? Then this is the equation for representing the Coulomb's law. F is equal to K into Q1 Q2 divided by D square. Here in this equation we are placed it is R. We are taking the distance as R. So Q1 Q2 by R square. Then is next here. Dia, what is Q1 and Q2? What is Q1 and Q2? Charges. And what is R?
Distance.
Yes, it is the distance, that is a distance separating these two charges. Good. Then what do you mean by K? Mehak? Mehak Sahol. How it is pronounced? Mehak? Mehak. Okay, good Mehak. What do you, this term K indicates? What do you mean by K?
I was absent for the last two.
The last class, okay. Adul, what is this K indicates in this equation?
Constant of proportionality.
K is a proportionality constant. And Aditya, what is the value of this proportionality constant K?
Ma'am, 9 into 10 raised to 9.
9 into 10 raised to 9. Before that, what is an equation is there for the K? What is the equation for K?
1 by 4 pi epsilon.
Yes, the K is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0. K is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0. What is epsilon 0? Ashwin, can you help me to find out what you mean by epsilon 0?
And permittivity.
Epsilon 0 is the permittivity of what?
Free space.
Yes, epsilon 0 is the permittivity of the free space. Achyut, what is the value of the epsilon 0 then?
8.85 into 10 raised to minus 12 Coulomb square by Newton meter square.
Yes, epsilon 0 means it is the permittivity. It is the permittivity of the free space. It is the permittivity of free space and it has a value. What is the value of epsilon 0? It is 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 and epsilon 0 is equal to 8.85 into 10 raised to minus 12 Coulomb square per Newton meter square. So these are the topic that we are discussing in the last class. Okay, so Coulomb's law states that the force of attraction or repulsion between the two charges is directly proportional to the product of the magnitude of the charges and it is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. In order to replace this proportionality sign, we are place a constant. That constant is K and F is equal to, we get F is equal to K into Q1 Q2 divided by R square, where K is a proportionality constant and its value is 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0. Then our equation becomes F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 divided by R square. But the value of epsilon 0 is given by 8.85 into 10 raised to minus 12 Coulomb per Newton meter square. By substituting all these values, we get what is the value of F. Finally, the equation is changes into, what is the final form of our equation? 9 into 10 raised to 9 Q1 Q2 divided by R square. Okay. So whenever I am asking about what is the equation to represent the Coulomb's law, this is the equation of Coulomb's law. That is F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 by R square. If you are entering into, if you are doing the numericals, you can enter this value of epsilon 0 and solve it and enter this equation. What is the Coulomb's law? 9 into 10 raised to 9 Q1 Q2 by R square. So these are topics that we are discussing in the last class. So today we can discuss the continuation of this topic. So we are placing these two charges Q1 and Q2 in free space. So now we are when we are stating this Coulomb's law, we are placing these two charges Q1 and Q2 in free space. Now again we are considering these charges Q1 and Q2. They are separated by a distance R. Suppose you are imagining if there is a medium, if there is a material medium is present between these two charges. So in the first case we are considering there are two types of charges Q1 and Q2 and this Q1 and Q2 is present or they are placing in free space. Now you imagine again we are considering the charges, the same charges Q1 and Q2. It is separated by a distance R, but these two charges, in between these two charges, a material medium is present. It can be in the form of air or glass or water or any kind of metals. Okay. So if there is a material medium is present between these two charges, then there is a slight modifications will be arise in Coulomb's law. Then the Coulomb's law becomes F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 epsilon R Q1 Q2 divided by R square. So what is the modification that we are made in the second case? We are take the same charges Q1 and Q2. It is separated by a distance R. But between these two charges, we are placing a material medium in the form of glass, water or metal. Then there is a slight modification will be arise in the Coulomb's law. That is F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 epsilon R Q1 Q2 divided by R square. Okay, what is epsilon 0? This term that we are discussed in the last class. Anthony, what is epsilon 0? Yes, epsilon 0 is the permittivity. Epsilon 0 is the permittivity of the free space. Permittivity of free space. Okay, now in the second case, in addition to this free space or in addition to this vacuum, we are separating these two charges using a material medium like metal. Then an additional term is arise in this equation, that is epsilon R. And this term epsilon R is known as relative permittivity of the medium. This term epsilon R is known as relative permittivity of the medium. Relative permittivity of the medium. Okay, so in the second case, we are separating these two charges with the help of a material medium like metal. Then there is a slight modifications will be arise in the case of Coulomb's law. That is F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 epsilon R Q1 Q2 divided by R square. All the other terms are same as that we are study earlier. That is epsilon 0 is the epsilon 0 is the permittivity of free space. Q1 and Q2 are the charges. R is the distance between the charges. Only a slight modification is arises. That is one more term is added in this equation. That is epsilon R. What is epsilon R? Epsilon R is the relative permittivity of the medium. It's not a constant because depending upon the material medium that we are consider, the value of the epsilon R is changes. So we cannot say a particular value for this epsilon R. Clear? Is there any doubt in this case?
No, ma'am.
If you have any doubts, you can ask very freely, no problem. You can clarify it now itself. All of you, you have cleared these points. Evelyn, what is the Coulomb's law for free space? What is the Coulomb's law for free space? Evelyn, what is the Coulomb's law for free space? For free space that we were discussed in the last class.
Coulomb's law state that the force.
I only need the equation. You don't need to state the law. Equation for the free space.
F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0.
1 by 4 pi epsilon 0. Wait. Q1 Q2 divided by R square. So this is the equation for Coulomb's law if the charges are present in free space. Good. Then Emmanuel, what about the Coulomb's law? In the case of a medium, if there is a medium is present between the charges, what is the Coulomb's law?
1
Yes.
by 4 pi epsilon 0.
1 by 4 pi epsilon 0.
പിന്നെ excellence relative permittivity of the medium.
That is we are pronouncing at epsilon R. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 epsilon R. What is the rest of the term?
Q1 Q2 by R square.
Q1 Q2 divided by R square. So these are the two equations that we are studying. The first one is the Coulomb's law for free space and the second one is the Coulomb's law for the medium. If there is any material medium is present between the charges, then the equation is modified in the form F medium is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 epsilon R Q1 Q2 divided by R square. Now you just observe equation 2. What all these terms in this equation 2 is represent? What is 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 by R square? That we are already studied earlier. What is this equation? 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q1 q2 by r square. That is, we can make a relationship between this F force in the medium and that of the force in the free space. That is, F medium, the force between the charges, if there is a medium is present between them. That, what is this 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q1 q2 by r square? It is our first equation. Right, this 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q1 q2 by r square, and this is the equation for F in the free space. So instead of this term we can write F medium is equal to F free space, and what is left in that second equation? Which term is left?
Epsilon
Divided by epsilon r. So thereby we are making a relationship between the forces of charges in a medium and the forces of charge present in a free space. That is, the force between the charges in a medium is equal to the force present in free space divided by epsilon r. So this is the relationship between the force of the charges between the medium and that of the free space. Okay, what is epsilon r, Gayatri? What is epsilon r?
Permittivity of the
Yes, it is the relative permittivity. It is not simple permittivity. It is the relative permittivity of the medium. It is not a constant. Its value is varies depending upon the material medium that we are present between the charges. Is it is clear?
Ma'am,
Yes.
can you explain again what is relative permittivity?
Relative permittivity actually is a term because we are discussing what is permittivity. Permittivity means it is the ability of a free space to permit the electric field. Similarly, if we are considering if there is a material medium between these charges. So in the first case, we are separating the charges Q1 and Q2. Wait 1 minute, and just rub this equation. Okay. If there are two charges, Q1 and Q2, it is separated by a distance R. This is the first case. These two charges, Q1 and Q2, are present in the free space. Then the equation for, according to Coulomb's law, F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 divided by R square, where epsilon 0 is the permittivity of the free space. In that case, there is no material medium is present between the charges. There is only the vacuum. The medium is vacuum or free space. So it is the ability of the free space to permit the electric field. Now, in addition to the free space, we are presenting a metal between this. You just imagine if there is a metal is present between these two charges, then what is the force of attraction between these two charges? It is again modified as F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 epsilon r. This term epsilon 0 is due to the presence of the metal that is between these two charges Q1 Q2 divided by r square. And this relative permittivity of the medium, it is the ability of the medium to permit the electric field. You just modify it. So epsilon 0 is the permittivity of the free space to allow the electric field to pass through it. Similarly, the epsilon r, it is the permittivity of the medium to permit the electric field. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can we move to the next topic?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is about the Coulomb's law. So these two equations are representing the Coulomb's law. Now we are going to describe what happens if we are describing the Coulomb's law in vector form. So this is your next topic, that is Coulomb's law in vector form. Coulomb's law in vector form. So the next topic is Coulomb's law in vector form. Or we can say the vector form of Coulomb's law. In order to explain the vector form of Coulomb's law, we are consider the two charges Q1 and Q2. Okay, To explain the vector form of Coulomb's law, we are considering the two charges, Q1 and Q2, both of them having the positive charge. They are separated by a distance r. So can you say what force is present between these two charges, Q1 and Q2? What force is present between these two charges, Q1 and Q2? We are considering two charges, Q1 and Q2, both of them having the positive charges, and it is separated by a distance r. Then here we have two like charges. If the two like charges are kept nearer to each other, what happens? What is the, yes, they are repels. That is the force is present between these two charges is a force of repulsion. That is, this charge Q1 exerts a force on Q2 and it is a repulsive force. As a result of this force is repelled in this direction. And we can name this force as F21. It is F21. Since force is a vector, we can put a vector sign above that. So Q1 exerts a force, it is a repulsive force on Q2 in this direction. It is a repulsive force. And we are named that force as F21 because it is the force experienced by the charge Q2 by charge Q1. So this force is given by vector F21. Is it clear? And the distance between these two charges we can take as R21. It is the distance between the charge to Q2 and Q1. Similarly, the Q2 is also exerts a force on the charge Q1. As a result of this, it is moving in this direction. Okay. So Q1 and Q2, once again I will draw it. Here it is a positive, here it is also a positive charge. Q1 exerts a force on Q2. As a result, it is a repulsive force. It is moving in this direction since it is a vector field and it is separated by a distance R21. Similarly, Q2 is also exerts an repulsive force on Q1. Then this force is in this direction and it is represented as F12, vector F12. Because force is a vector, we are representing with the help of a vector sign. What is F12 is indicate? It is the force exerted by the charge Q2 on Q1, or it is the force experienced by the charge Q1 by charge Q2. Okay. Now we can see what is the effect of force that is experienced by each charge. And it is separated by a distance R12 here, R12. Okay. So now we can calculate or we can find out the force experienced by the charge Q2. It is given by vector F21. According to Coulomb's law, what is the force experienced by this charge Q2? It is given by F21 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0. What is the two charges present here? What is the two charges present?
Q1 and Q2.
Yes, Q1 and Q2. Q1, Q2 divided by. What is the distance of separation between them? The Q1 repulses the Q2 in this much distance, that is R21 distance. So what is the distance of separation between them? R21, the whole square. Since it is a vector field, R21 cap, where R21 cap is a unit vector. Okay. Once again, I will explain the situation that we are taken here or we are discussed here. That is, we are considering the two charges Q1 and Q2, both of them having the positive charges. Since the Q1 is repulsed Q2 by a force and it is given by F21. And what do you mean by this F21? It is the force experienced by the charge Q2 by charge Q1. and it is separated by a distance r21 because q1 is repels this much distance q2. Similarly, q2 is exerts a force on this charge q1. As a result of this force, the q1 is also repelled by the q2 by a force F12. It is the force experienced by the charge q1 by charge q2. They are also separated by a distance r12. Now we write an equation for the force that is experienced by the charge q2. It is given by vector F21 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q1 q2 divided by r21 the whole square into r21 cap, where r21 cap is a unit vector since we are representing the force in a vector field. Similarly, can you say what is the force experienced by the charge q1? Anyone can say? What is the force experienced by the charge q1? F12. Yes.
Ma'am, how did the Q1, Q2 divided by R21 whole square into R21 cap come, ma'am?
R21 whole square because the charge q1 is repelled q2 by a distance r21. We are take that distance as r21. Okay, because there is a repulsive forces present between these two charges. Similarly, if the yes.
Do R21 cap.
Since we are takes the force in a vector field, so we are already studied in the +1 standard in the when we are studying about the vectors. If we are representing any quantity in the vector field, we are must representing it with the help of a unit vector. So r21 is the unit vector of this force vector F21. Did you remember that? If we are representing any quantity in a vector form, we must represent it with the help of a unit vector. So R21 is the unit vector of this force vector F21. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Similarly, what is the force experienced by the charge Q1? Can anyone say what is the force experienced by the charge? Yes, very good. 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0.
Q1, Q2 by R12 the whole square.
Yes, very good. Q1, Q2 divided by R12 because here the charge Q1 is repelled by the charge Q2 by a distance R12. R12 the whole square into what is the unit vector representing this force?
R12 cap.
Yes, very good. It is R12 cap. This is our equation number 2. Okay. Now you just compare these two equations. Can you find any similarity between this equation? Is there any terms are same? While comparing the equation number 1 and 2, is there any similarity? What are the terms are same in this both equation?
1 by 4 pi epsilon 0
Yes.
into Q1, Q2.
Q1, Q2 is same. So, in these two equations, 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0, Q1, Q2 is same. And we are confused only about the one term, that is, in the first equation it is R21 the whole square, and in the second equation it is R12 the whole square, right?
Yes, ma'am.
But when we are looking in this figure, it is very clear that both these distances are also equals. We just again look this figure, Q1, Q2. The Q1 is repelled the Q2 by a distance R21. This is that distance. Similarly, the Q2 is repelled the Q1 by another distance R12, but these distances are also same, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So, from this equation, what we can say, the equation 1 is equal to equation 2 because all the terms in the equation 1 is equal to that of the equation 2. So, we can write F21 vector is equal to F12 vector. Force 21 vector is equal to the vector F12, right? Now, what about the direction of the force? Both of them are along the same direction. What about the direction of the force? Here Q1, Q2, yes. Q1 is exerts a force on Q2 and it is acting in this direction. It is F21. Similarly, Q2 is exerts a force on Q1 It is acting in this direction, that is F12. What about the direction of the force? They are in same direction or different directions?
Opposite.
So they are in opposite directions. So we can put a negative sign here. That is, the force acting on the charge Q2 is just opposite to that of the force acting on the charge Q1. Is it clear? From this equations, what we are conclude? From this equations, what we are conclude? Here the two equal and opposite forces are act on the two charges. To every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Have you heard about this law? To every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Who's proposed this law?
Newton.
Newton's third law of motion. So according to Newton's third law of motion, this equation is very famous for us. That is, to every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. Here we have two forces, but they are equal and opposite forces. So from this equation we can say that the Coulomb's law obeys Newton's law of motion. From this we can say that the Coulomb's law obeys Newton's third law of motion. Newton's third law of motion. Is it clear for you?
Ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, how is F21 and F12 are equal?
How they are equal? Okay. We are comparing the terms of each of this equation. What is the equation? F21 is says F21 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 divided by Q1 Q2 divided by R21 the whole square into vector R21, not vector R21 cap. Similarly, F12 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 divided by R12 the whole square into R12 cap. These are our two equations. Now we are comparing these two equations. By comparing this equation, it is very clear that here also 1 by epsilon 0. In the second equation, there will be also 1 by epsilon 0. Here there is Q1 by Q2, here also Q1 Q2. So these much terms are same in both equations. That is Q1 Q2 divided by 4 pi epsilon 0 is present in both equations. But we are only confused about these two terms. That is, one is R21 the whole square and here it is R12 the whole square. So again we are drawing our figure. That is the two charges. Q1 it is a positive charge. Another charge Q2 it is also a positive charge. What is this R21 is indicate? Since these are positive charges, what happens? They are experiences a repulsive. So the Q1 is repelled the Q2 by a distance R21. The Q2 is repelled by the charge Q1 this much distance. Similarly, the Q2 is also repelled the Q1 by another distance. So when we are looking these two distances, both of them are equal. They are equal or not?
Yes, yes.
They are equal. They are equal distances are separated. These two charges are separated or they are repelled by equal distances. So we don't have any confusion. These two terms are equal. R21 and R12 both are equal because they are the separation of charges and the distance between this separation of charges are also equal. So these two terms of the equations are also equal. So we can write all the terms of the first equations are becomes equal to the terms, all the terms of the second equation. So we can conclude that the force F21 is equal to F12. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Then how it becomes opposite? In that cases, we are check the direction of the force. Okay. So when we are observing the direction, the Q1 is exerts a force on Q2 in this direction and it is F21. The force is acting on the Q2 by Q1 is F21. It is in this direction, it is in the right. Similarly, the Q2 is exerts a force on Q1 in this direction, that is given by F12. The direction of the forces are opposite. They are equal in their magnitude, but they are opposite in their direction. Okay, they are equal in their magnitude, but opposite in the direction. Hence, we can say that the two equal and opposite forces are present between these two charges. So, if there is two equal and opposite force, we can verify that the Coulomb's law obeys the Newton's third law of motion. Because according to the Newton's third law of motion, we are already studied that to every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. So here we get the two equal and opposite forces. They are equal in their magnitude but opposite in their direction. So from this we can verify that the Coulomb's law obeys Newton's third law of motion. Is it is clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubt? Is there any doubt up to this topic? Anyone have you doubt? You can ask, clarify now itself, no problem.
Should we learn this derivation by heart?
Yes, you must learn this derivation. Sometimes the question may be asked, verify or you can prove how the Coulomb's law is verified or how it is obeys the Ohm's law, Newton's third law. Okay. So today we were discussing about what is the modifications will be occurs in the Coulomb's law when the two mediums, when a medium, not two medium, when a medium is present between the charges. What is the modifications in that equation? Lydia, please switch on your video. What is the equation? 1 minute, okay. What is the equation for the force between the charges if there is a medium between them? F is equal to?
By 4 pi epsilon 0 epsilon r
Yes.
q1 q2 by r square.
What is epsilon r?
Relative permittivity of medium.
Relative permittivity. How it is pronounced? Relative permittivity of the medium. Okay. And then Aditya. Aditya is very ready to answer. Okay, Aditya, what about the Coulomb's law for a free space?
And F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 into Q1 Q2 by R square.
What is epsilon 0 then?
Permittivity of free space.
Permittivity of the free space. Okay, very good. Malavika. What is the relationship between the force in the medium and that of the force in the free space? Okay. I think I didn't call Meenakshi yet. Meenakshi, can you say the relationship between the force in the medium and that of the force in the free space?
And force in the medium is equal to force in free space divided by epsilon.
Okay, what is epsilon r?
Permittivity of the medium.
Okay,
The permittivity.
permittivity of the medium. Okay, thank you. Then Gayatri, can you say what is the vector form of the Coulomb's law? What is the vector form of Coulomb's law? What is the final equation that we are deriving from that vector form?
Vector F21 is equal to minus vector 1.
Okay, from that we made a conclusion. What's that?
Coulomb's law obeys Newton's third law.
Coulomb's law obeys the Newton's third law of motions. So I hope that these much topics are clear for you. So with this we can wind up this session. The next topic that we can discuss in the next class. Okay? Thank you and have a nice day.